Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bree and I'm back with another fucking story time. I realized that, I have a lot of stories. They just don't really seem that significant to me, but I'm gonna start sharing them. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. I'm open to all comments, really and truly. Let me know if you enjoyed these videos, and yeah, let me get right into it. So today's video is going to be about my experience working at Chipotle and how I ended up getting fired from there. Let me just start off by saying that I hated with a passion working at Chipotle. I can't even think of anything that I liked about that place. I guess I could start off by telling you guys what I really hated about working there. The few things that come to mind are really just the customers, because going into the job I thought that just throw some rice in a bowl, throw some beans in a bowl, throw some lettuce on that bitch, close the top, here you go. It was not that simple. People have all kinds of requests for how they want their food prepared, and I can't even be mad at them because everybody likes their food a particular way, but it's the way how you talk to somebody, and that was my issue. I hated that you had to learn at Chipotle, and what I mean by that is they had definitions of things that qualities I should say, that a Chipotle worker should have. Some of these things were for, I can't remember the exact names of these definitions, but a hard worker, let's say, and you had to remember the Chipotle definition of what a hard worker is. And on top of that, it's not like you should just know it to know it. They would quiz you. Niggas would come up to me while I'm making a whole bowl and be like, "So Brianna, what's the definition of a hard worker?" I would get it wrong because I didn't give a fuck, and they would sit down there, go over the like as if I'm stupid. And they were just I would say that the people who I worked with at Chipotle were very condescending, because they just thought that they were all stars because they can make a bowl in 10 fucking seconds. You're not cool, bro. You're not cool. And I think that could probably be the number one thing. And I find that Chipotle's, and I think this is what I've noticed commonly about the Chipotle's that are around me, they're very cliquey. And what I mean by that is you don't really see different types of people working at these Chipotle. The Chipotle I worked at, 10 of those people who worked there then still work there now, and they've obviously moved up. They're not still line workers like I was. And it just seems like the people that they do hire just rotate. They literally change those bitches like they change their fucking underwear. Even in other Chipotles I go to, it's always the same people I've been seeing for years. So I think that's really weird. Right off the bat, I don't really feel like I was close to anyone at that job. It was mostly just I go there literally to make my money and then leave. Chipotle closes at 10. A woman came in about 9:55. It was really close to closing is what I'm trying to get at. And was ordering bowls. I was in a pretty good mood that day. I was like, whatever, it's just her. I can do this in 5 minutes and I'll be able to leave on time. So she tells me what she wants. She has maybe 2 bowls, and I get down to the line where you have the cold stuff the sour cream, the salsa, and whatnot, what have you. It's time for me to put corn on her bowl, and I had to take a fresh corn out the freezer because she didn't want the corn that she alleged was all at the bottom and was old. So I was like, whatever, I'll get you new corn. I'm in a good mood, I'm about to leave, I'll get you your new corn. So I go in there and it's taken out the freezer. Just keep that in mind, it's taken out the freezer. So I'm scooping the corn onto her bowl. She goes, "What is that?" And she's pointing at the corn. I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, that stuff around the corn, I think that's ice. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, well we just took it out the freezer, it's fresh corn." She was like, "Could you take it off?" And I was like, I mean, it's gonna melt. I don't really see the sense of taking it off. What she wanted me to do was remove the corn that was on there and put, I guess, corn that was maybe more in the bottom of the container, so there was no ice, but it was in the freezer all day, so it has to kind of thaw out before all that. You can't see any of the ice. It wasn't rock hard frozen, but it had icicles on it because it was in the freezer. So she's getting angry with me as if I'm intentionally putting the fucking icicles on her bowl. I'm like, "Miss, it's ice, there's not much I can really do about it." Like, would you like me to just take it off? She's like, no, forget it. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, I just don't understand why you can't make, you guys don't have ice in there that's thawed out. This is frozen. You're going to give me frozen. I was like, it's not frozen. It's just been in the freezer. There's moisture and it's frozen. There's little icicle. It was nothing I could do about it, literally. So she's getting really aggravated. I'm like, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. And so I asked her what else she would want on the bowl. She was like, just close it. I don't want it anymore. I was like, you don't want it? She was like, just close it. I'll take it how it is. And I was like, okay. And now I'm starting to get annoyed because she's already been rude and I'm trying to continuously help her and she's just telling me to go fuck myself, basically. And then I don't remember what the exchange was. I don't know why this lady was having such a bad day, but she says something along the lines of, you're lucky I don't come behind this counter. Speaking to me, implying that she was going to come behind the counter and put her hands on me. She had me fucked up. She probably thought I was like some little kid who was gonna speak up for myself. No, you have the wrong one. Like, I promise you, you have the wrong one. And I simply, in the calmest voice you could ever think of, I said, I get off at 10. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you for what? I get off at 5 minutes. Like, if you really want to do something about it, I get off 10, and I get off at 10, and we can step right outside. My mom's outside, so we could all shoot the fair one because you're not gonna touch me and my mom's gonna be sitting in the car. Like, you got the whole game fucked up, ma'am. So at that point, when I said I get off at 10, that's when the other managers got involved. Like, the other people I was working with got involved, kind of diffused the situation. I went in the back to cool off, and that was that pretty much. So basically right after that happened, I had it up to here with Chipotle. Like, I didn't want nothing to do with them. It just wasn't worth the stress and the hassle. Like, people were literally just like testing me all the time for no reason, and I hated it. Like, my skin was so like pimply and nasty because, you know, I'm standing over a stove and like my hard work is not even appreciated. So one of the first things they tell you when you start working at Chipotle is do not come to work if you're sick. If you're sick, do not come to work. You stand right over food constantly. Like, it doesn't make sense for you to come to work, which makes sense. I was sick and I said I can't come to work. Called out, tried to call out. You know, basically they told me that I can't call out. I have to find a coverage. I was like, I don't talk to anybody. The people I do talk to can't cover me. So would you like me to stand over the food and cough over it? Because I can do that if you would like me to. And they were like, they basically was like giving me an ultimatum. Either I find a replacement or I come to work. And this is where I feel like they definitely didn't like me, because if I'm telling you I'm sick, I told them I have the doctor's note and everything, and they still demanded that I come to work or find a replacement. So it's like, you're giving me no option but not to show up to work. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't go to work. I'm sick. Like I fucking said, I'm not coming to work. Point blank, period. So fast forward to the end of that week, because I'm pretty sure it was like maybe a Thursday or something, and I'm calling to get my schedule for the next week, because depending on the last time you worked, you won't see your schedule, you won't see the new schedule that was put up. And if you work on something like on a Monday or something, you won't know that you work if you don't call. So I called to get my hours, and I was like, hey, it's Brianna, I want to know my hours for the week. The guy who picked up said, hold on, I'm gonna go check for you. I was on hold for not quite some time, but like I was on hold for maybe like a minute or two, which is kind of a long time for someone to just literally walk over to the schedule and then tell me I work, the next time I come in is Monday, 6 o'clock. Like, I'm not asking for my whole hours of the week, just the next time I come in. And so I was on hold for a little while. They were like, he comes back on the phone, his dumb ass, talking about, oh, you're not on the schedule. So when he said that I wasn't on the schedule, I was like, alright, I got a week off. That's what I'm thinking. He puts me on hold again, and then he puts the manager on the phone. So the manager has me on the phone, and he's saying, oh, hey Brianna, how are you? First of all, don't ask me how the fuck I am. Get to the point. I don't care how you are. You don't really care how I am. So let me know what's the hold up, because y'all are acting mad sus. He goes, oh, we need to have a talk. As soon as he said that, I knew what it was. He goes, we need to have a talk. You've been calling out a lot, and that's not acceptable because we really need you to be at work when you're supposed to be at work. And just going down the line of all the things that I guess I haven't been doing since I started working here. And at that moment, I was like, wow, like, these people deadass really don't like me for what? I don't know. But that's fine, because I don't fucking like them either. At the end of that conversation, he was like, can you come in so we can talk about these things and try to work towards a solution? I was like, oh, okay, I'll be there tomorrow. Banged on him, and he never saw my face ever again. Like, you think I'm gonna come all the way? Because it wasn't like, you know, it was down the block or 10 minutes away. Like, I had to drive there. You think I'm gonna come out my way to come here so you can sit me down and fire me? Like, just tell me I'm terminated, send my last check in the mail, and we can both go about our lives. Like, no hard feelings, I promise you. Because I did not want to be there. So I never showed up. I called back next week to see if I was on the schedule. The manager picks up and he's like, oh, Brianna, we need to have a talk, blase, blase, all that good shit. So I never went back to work at Chipotle after that, and they never called me, nothing. And that was that. They sent me a letter in the mail like a few days before Christmas saying that I was officially terminated, blah blah blah. I was like, I knew that, but thanks for putting it in writing. And then that was the end of me working at Chipotle. Like, nothing crazy. It just so happened that I was at that Chipotle maybe a year later. One of the people who I worked with recognized me, and he runs over and he's like, Brianna, you have a check, you have a check. And I was like, what? Like, because I had a whole new job. Like, I haven't worked there in over a year. Like, what do you mean to have a check? He hands me a paycheck that they were supposed to send to me almost now a year and a half ago. That's just been sitting in their fucking office. Like, why are you holding, like, you really held on to my check, that $45 check, mind you, just so you can have me come in and sit down and fire me? Like, after you sent the letter saying that I was fired, why wouldn't you then just send my check along with it? Like, why were you holding it for so long? That was the end of my Chipotle, being employed at Chipotle, I guess. And it was horrible. It was the worst 6 months of my life. I didn't have fun. Like, there was nothing I liked about it at all. People sucked, customers sucked, environment sucked. I hated it all. And that was one of my worst jobs. If you worked at Chipotle and you're watching this, let me know if you had some similar experiences. And yeah, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll be back soon with another video, so stay tuned.